Whoa there, Nelly. Welcome to Dave Rides. Have I got some news for you? Woo! Stay tuned. That's right. Got him. That was a massive effort. That's a stress load off my mind. That was stressful. And it deserves a sip of bourbon. So, I'm a bit behind schedule, but I've passed my P's on the last day of my holidays. Yeah, that's right. Up at 6 in the morning again. Got there by, what was it? Had to be there by 20 to 8. Got there a bit earlier than that, and it's a long day, I'm telling you. It's all day. I think we left at 4:30. But I've got it done. That's right. I'm on my way. Track riding, wheelies, the lot. Pretty pleased. I haven't stopped saying I did it. Ask. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, last day of my holidays, got my P's, and I'll tell you all about it. So, you know I work nights. Anybody's watched my other videos knows I work nights. So I don't go to bed till 3 o'clock in the morning. So this was having to get up at 6 in the morning. So I had to, wangle that. I rode in, of course, and it's a 35-minute ride into where I had to go. Felt like I was dreaming the whole way. Like, you're dreaming on your way in. Honestly, it's dreaming. But lucky it was on a Sunday, so there wasn't much traffic. Just cruised in. And this time, it was a glorious day. Beautiful. From 6 o'clock in the morning, it was a beautiful day. 23 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, so no rain. So anyway, get there, you sign in, and there's a group of probably 6 of yous. You do a little talk, and you get out on the field, do some riding, talk about it, go back in the fucking thing, talk about it, go back on the range, talk about it. So you're kind of practicing what you're going to do in the actual P test in the afternoon. You go for a road ride, which was good, but you stop a lot and you talk about it and talk about it and let's talk about it. And so that's a bit of a pain, but you get through it. So you come back for lunch, I think it's about 12:31, talk about it, and then you have lunch. Then after lunch, you go out and practice a bit more. Practice for what you're going to do in the test. So you start doing that, and that's all good. And I'm going to tell you about the test, because people want to know what the test is like. Is it hard? Excuse me. I would say it's not hard, it's awkward. And it's stuff you don't even do when you're riding. Well, maybe if you're coming into your driveway. So I did do some practicing, but it's real hard to find a spot where you can practice, especially everywhere I went, right? I would go sometimes late at night. I only went once in the day on a Sunday, but late at night into the factory areas, where there's kind of factories and there's a lot of trucks around the area. Everywhere I went, security would come out. What are you doing? It's like, where can I go where there's nobody coming out? Because everybody thinks you're casing the place. Like I'm doing U-turns and stoppies and all that stuff. And security guards come out all the time. Like, what are you doing here? I nearly got into a fight once, but I was chill. And so that's what I did. What I did mainly was figure eights, which I think figure eights are the best thing to help you with your riding. Figure eights really help you with your riding, slow figure eights. But that's not all you need, because you're doing stoppies and the cone weave and all that. So, okay, you get to the test bit. And there's lots of little things that you got to remember to do, like your head check, this head check thing. So every time you stop on the bike or before you take off, again, you've got to do a head check. And some people forget to do the head check because he's talking to you and you're nervous and you've got to do your head check and you forget. I didn't forget. Boom, bam. I didn't forget the head check, but I almost stuffed up the cone weave because you've got to go so slow because they're kind of real close together. And you know, I'm sure if you had a run up, you'd just be a bit weavier, but when you're going slow, you kind of, and we were practicing it in the practice bit, and sometimes you'd get it and sometimes you'd have to put a foot down and sometimes you didn't. Now, putting a foot down isn't going to get you a fail, but it will count as points. How many points? I don't know, because I did put a foot down in my cone weave and I still passed. I put a foot down just once. So you do the cone weave and then you kind of do a little Yui and then come back and do a Yui. I think that's how it was. Anyway, there's a Yui involved in it. There's a dodge at between 20 kilometres an hour and 30 kilometres an hour. There's a stoppie, same. And they've got a speedo on you, so you've got to make sure you're up above 20 kilometres an hour, but no faster than 30 kilometres an hour. If you go above 30 kilometres an hour, fail. That's it. I'll have a sip of bourbon. But I thought the calibration was wrong. So when I did my stoppie, the first time, you get 2 goes at the stoppie and the weave that they check the speed on. And when the stoppie, I got up to 21 kilometres an hour. I saw my speedo and he said, oh, you haven't gone fast enough. You get another go. And I was like, anyway, you can't argue. It's the speedo. So just did it again and got it right. You just don't want to go over 30 and there's not much distance to get up to speed. So that's the tricky stuff, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not hard, it's just like little tricky stuff. My analogy of it is like, remember the game Operation? You know, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And, you know, for kind of beginner riders, that's the problem with it. Now, there were 6 people in my group, I think, but then other people came to do the test, because if you don't pass the test when you're doing the course, you can just have to keep coming back for the test bit, not the whole course. So how many people came? There's 2 Indian blokes and this white bloke. Anyway, so as part of the test, a few people failed. 2 girls and 3 guys. 1 guy had done it 3 times, still failed. 1 other guy had done it 6 times and still failed. So the one bloke that done it 6 times, he's come back. I said, did you get it, mate? No, I didn't get it. I said, have you got a bike? He goes, no. Maybe you should get a bike. Anyway, and the other kid that failed it for his 3rd time, he had this kind of cruiser bike, which has got like the handlebars out here and the long wheel, and I'm thinking, I was talking to him, I was good luck, and going when he was about to go out there. Good luck, mate, get ripping, you know, go for it. But he stuffed it. And I think it was the bike more. It'd be a real hard bike to do it on. Just with that long wheel. It wasn't like a Harley, but it was similar kind of style. And that's what he messed up on, the U-turn and the cone weave. So they're the 2 ones that are real tight. You got to do it real tight and there's not much room for error. And the head checks. The head checks actually save you a lot, because if you put a foot down or go over the yellow line in the other ones, you're going to be okay if you've done your head checks, because you might accumulate points doing the other thing, but if you also accumulate points by not doing the head checks, you're going to fail. And that's what happens with a lot of the people. They just get nervous, forget to head check, and they don't pass. But guess what? I passed. Boom, bam. That's it for that. Never again do I have to get up and do that. There's no way I would have wanted to do that ever again. I said to them, there's no way I'm failing. Like, there's just no way I was failing. I was not going back there to do that again. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get up at 6 in the morning. That kills me. That's hard work, getting up at 6. So yeah, proud of my effort. It's just a big load off my mind. Every holiday, I've had something to do. You know, I've given myself a goal, like my HC license or my MC license or my bike license. So how was it? Got it on the last day of my holidays, my 5-week holidays. We'd done so much, but that's another story. So anyway, I'm on my way. Behind schedule, but I'm on my way. I asked the guy, the instructor, of where I can learn more about track days and just becoming a better rider. And he said maybe look up California Superbike School. So I've looked up that. And they've got courses from level 1, I think, to level 4 or 5, I can't remember. But that's what I'll be doing, level 1, and you've got to go through the levels, and as a novice rider, level 1 is supposed to be really good before you do track days, so we'll see. Who knows? If I do that before I do a track day, I'm not sure, because they don't do them a lot. I think the next one I can get into is in November. I don't know if I'm ready for November or if I can get the time off yet in November, because I'm going to Metallica as well. So we'll see if I can get it done in November. That'd be good if I could go in November, because then I can start doing the track days. I don't need to do that to do the track days. It's just, that'd be good to do to be better on the track. What you do need to do track days is your Ps. You need to have your Ps before you do track days. So I got them. Wow, deserves a bourbon. It deserves a whole lot of celebration, I'm telling you. Because when you finish that course at 4:30 in the afternoon, it's a long day of riding and not riding and listening and riding and listening. Wow. That did my head in. It was just like, that's what made me so determined to not stuff it up. But I did put a foot down. So when I put my foot down, I didn't freak out, because I knew it wasn't a fail, because I'd asked him all about it, and he said, it depends, you know, what else you've done wrong. That was the only thing I kind of did, was just put that foot down. So I just kept with it. I didn't get too frustrated. I think I might have sworn a bit, but in my helmet, and I just kept going. I just kept finishing it. You know, the stop here, the whole lot, just keep going. He said, you just keep going until, you know, if I don't say anything to you, because what he does is if you've failed, he just stops you. You've failed, you over to the fence you go. That's not a good spot. Oh, I felt sorry for the girl, because she went first. This girl went first, and she had a nice bike. And she was cool, but she failed it, and she was first. Oh, and I felt sorry for her, because she was first up. And she was real nervous, and everybody's watching you. Like, she didn't want to be watched. Who does want to be watched? Nobody. Anyway, she failed, which kind of that was a tough go. And there was a couple of guys there. See, a lot of the guys that are getting their Ps that I've noticed have been like doing trail bike riding since they were kids. And so that's all they do is motocross, and then they come here and say, oh, I want to do my Ps now. So a couple of guys didn't have their Ps, but they'd been riding for years, you know, out in the bush and stuff. And that happens a lot. Because the last time I went, that's what happened. There was a couple of kids there from the motocross world, and man, they're a different breed. These two kids showed up with sand shoes on, tracksuit pants, no socks. You have to have a long sleeve shirt, so that was the only bit of protection they had. they just don't care. And I was laughing at them. We've all got our jackets and the good shoes and, all the protection. These motocross kids just don't give a crap. It's just like, they're just rolling with it. And they were good riders. But anyway, I've done it on a beautiful, glorious day, and the last day of my holiday, so I'm ready to progress. And that was on Sunday I did that. But last night I went to work. I didn't go to work today. And on the way home, felt even better. I ripped it. Yes. Don't tell anybody. I ripped it. Feeling really good. It's a beauty of a bike, this one. I'm telling you, the Ninja 500, you're kidding. Don't worry about that. This little pony's up. Boom, bam. It rocks it. Anyway, that's it for Dave Rides. Like and subscribe if you want to continue watching my journey. Laugh with me, laugh at me, cry with me, whatever. It's going to be fun, it's going to be funny, and we'll see where we can get to. I said that I've made a new goal, that maybe I just want to do, if I could get to do one race, I don't know, at a club level, something, if I could get to that spot, I could just race. I think in the next video I'm going to tell you why I've got a bike and the history behind it, that I started riding so late. There's a good little history about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Boom, bam, got my peas. Stop recording.